We hear you, W6BBS 72.
Okay.
Kilo 6, Victor Bravo Golf 971.
Kilo Golf 6, Charlie Echo Fox.
You've been playing hooky, Dave.
From what?
From here.
No, I've been here.
He's been a good boy. He's been checking in the last couple of nets. Frank, you probably get in late and don't catch his check in there.
KM6 SRR.
Yeah, good evening, Rob. Good evening, Daryl and all.
K60USY 1079.
Good evening, Daryl. Good evening, Aaron. Good evening, Dave. And good evening, Frank. KM6SR.
Hiya, Rob.
What's the date today, Rob?
Zulu 226.
Okay, I can hear the boys down there in L.A. Let's see if we're pretty close to start time. I think we're at start time. I was listening to a Tucker Carlson discussion with a guy named Mike Benz, who's outlining all the last 50 years of the CIA involvement and all the things that are going on there with media control and mind control and election control and heads of state control. Boy, oh boy. Interesting talk. Interesting Tucker's latest interview. Mike Benz, B-E-N-Z. Boy, is this guy sharp. Anyway, KB6RQU, KB6 Radio Queen United down there in Lake Isabella. Are you with us tonight, Rick, K6MYC? Oh, I was afraid of that. Okay, and 6SWR, how about you, Ben? Ben's not in the shack yet. Am I a few minutes early here?
No, 333.
Okay. Anyway, it was a glorious day down here. Temperature 70 plus a little bit. I had a t-shirt on all day. Never felt cold once. Lovely, hardly any breeze. Just enough to let you know that there was air up there. And boy, just wonderful. Really a phenomenal Sunday for February. February, as they say. Okay, how about, Daryl, anything to report from your hilltop up there? KG6, Charlie Echo Fox in the group, K6MYC.
Negative. Nothing to report. Just been messing around the property. The landlord just got in, so I'll be seeing him tomorrow, and I hope he's got some more ideas for the roof.
Who just got in?
The landlord.
Oh, the landlord. Okay, to see if he can figure out why all the leaks are leaking and the water is coming in, huh? How about you, Dave? Are you getting back in the swing of things there? K6BBG, K6MYC.
Well, kind of. Starting to feel a little bit better. Got a lot of different coals in the fire right now, and we're working on a bunch of different projects.
Okay, nothing you can talk about. They're all clandestine and secret and CIA covered?
No, not really. I mean, it's just building some fishing rods for some friends and getting ready to go down and talk at a fishing show, the PCS show in Costa Mesa, and do a little bit of display work down there. Working with your saltwater guide. One of my close friends owns it, and he's going to be interviewing me on the air this coming weekend. Just stuff like that.
Who is it? My saltwater friend?
It's a website called Your Saltwater Guide.
Oh, Oh, I see.
Different media outlet type stuff, but they're going to be working with the Mighty 690 in San Diego and doing an interview on Let's Talk Hookup next weekend.
Oh, okay. That should be interesting.
Yeah, you know, I made the radio. 1 million listeners.
Very good. Yeah, the Mighty 690 has a huge coverage. Anyway, Frank, anything later in the day to report? We know we got Frank's 1296 running again. He got it running. I didn't do anything except help him test it. But it's working, and it works. It sounds like it's going to be really good, Frank, based on what signals I was hearing from you. So that's good news. Anything else today? Let's see. I just pruned oak trees, the one right by the house, at the corner of the house on the way to the chicken pen, would needed some pruning. And I got most of that done. There's still a little bit to do there yet. But boy, I took a whole trailer load of rubbish and lots of wood. Not much wood. Actually, it was all pretty small branches, 2 inches or less, so it wasn't much in the way of wood retrieval, but a lot of brush. W6BBS, well then we'll take another pause for any other breakers and checker inners to the 430 to the 2-meter Bozo Net K6MYC.
KK6 ZKE.
Good evening, Terry.
Evening, Mike. How you doing?
Okay, while you're writing him in there, Mike, I'll answer your question. Not too much that I didn't report to you earlier. You knew all about the solar advancements and all of that. And, there was something I was going to mention. What was it? Gosh darn it. Oh, I know. We got the dryer out. It was kind of packed in storage, and we got the dryer out, and the wife's kind of got it cleaned up, and we're fixing to maybe sometime tomorrow. I'm going to have that thing plugged in and just see how well the solar system will run that dryer. Other than that, not too much else to report, Mike. Over.
Okay, very good. And behind you was Richard. Richard, we hear you. We have you checked in. 249, 249, 249. Roger, roger, roger. I'm not sure whether he hears that or not. Okay, very good, Frank. Anyway, Terry, how about you? Is your garage clean now?
No, with the phone system, I've been modifying it. I went totally cellular, and I backfed the house with one phone to bring up all the old phones.
What do you mean you bring up all the old phones? Did you lose them?
No, it was all hardwired stuff, and AT&T's going to go away from that, so I thought I'd get a jump on it, and I converted it to cellular and just backfed the cellular phone into the house, and it fires up the phones quite nice.
Okay, is there a gadget that does that?
Yeah, it's called an X-Link.
Oh, okay. I guess a lot of people are thinking about doing that. I'm hesitant to do that because you're then hung up on, if we lose the internet for any reason, then you've got nothing. Over.
Well, roger that, but AT&T sent me a letter that says they're going to shut down their landline service.
Oh, well then, thanks very much for nothing, huh?
Roger that.
So you're forced into it whether you want to be there or not. Boy, I'm just afraid about not having a backup. What do they call that? It's not hardline. It's, oh, for heaven's sakes, landline, but there's a name for it.
Yeah, hardwired or whatever, but they had this one phone up to $90 a month is ridiculous.
Yeah, that is. Sorry about that. I'm still doing pretty good with Ponderosa up here. They're probably going to maintain their systems at least for a while. I don't see them going to cellular because the coverage in some of their areas is so terrible. They only have oh, darn it, almost had the word. Landline coverage, but I know a lot of the areas, or some of the areas that they service, only have landline. the cellular coverage is marginal. Anyway, okay, it sounds exciting. Sounds like something that a lot of people might be interested in. What's the name of it again? One more time.
The device is the X-Link.
X-Link.
Go again, Mike.
I didn't hear what you said. You said the device is X-Link?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It is X-Link, X-L-I-N-K.
Okay, very good. You can pick it up at a local electronics store.
No, I wish. It's off of Amazon. It's not very expensive. I forget what it costs. Not bad.
Okay, I hear CW again. Richard, we hear you. KD6BQ, K6MYC. Roger, roger. Okay, let's see. Anybody else in here? How about N6SWR Bakersfield? Are you here, Ben? No, Ben. KB6RQU, are you here? Rick's not here. How about AA6 Sugar? I'm sorry, somebody said Mike. Go ahead.
Whiskey 6, Papa Mike Delta, Bozo 58.
Okay, Bozo 58, we got you. Papa Mike Delta, K6MYC, Bozo 47. Good evening.
Good evening there, Mike. Yeah, you're F9 about a minute ago. Back down about an F3, F4, but got down to book number 47, and you got my number 58, W16D.
Yeah, we got your number. Listen up for a few more. Go ahead, Rob.
Good evening, Pat. W6PMD. This Kilo Mike 6, Sierra Romeo Romeo. You're barely above my noise. Over.
Roger. Yeah, you're not real strong tonight either. A couple of minutes ago, you guys were booming in, but 432, we got you in to Rob 432, and this is number 58.
Thank you, Pat.
727.
You want to check in with Pat down there, Mike? Go ahead.
No, not right now. I just walked in and I'm pointed due north, so that's all right.
Roger, roger. WA6AAJ, good evening. You think our friend Bill's going to be in here tonight? How's he feeling?
I think he's feeling fine. I don't think he's going to show up. Sundays are kind of a no-show day.
Yeah, okay. Well, we were talking about him today and his Paxlovid treatment.
Yeah, I think they're both feeling better.
Yeah, I talked to a guy in Canada today. Now, this guy's pretty sharp. I mean, he sounded like he was really on top of it, but somewhere along the line he lost communications with common sense. He's had 6 vaccinations, going on number 7, and he came down with COVID, and he took the Paxlovid, and he said it worked great. He got over it right quick. Over.
Well, that's kind of what I experienced back in June. I mean, I still was really tired for a couple of weeks, but as far as the bad symptoms I had at the get-go went away in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, so the other symptoms keep hanging on, it seems like. Not necessarily always the first cold-type symptoms, but the lingering phlegm in the throat, the lingering tiredness, feeling sometimes a morning hack, all that stuff. It just seems to have different manifestations depending on your particular limitations, I guess, in terms of beating it back to 0. Anyway, it was an interesting thing, and why would you take 6 vaccinations and then wonder why and really be happy about the Paxlovid and the vaccinations if you got COVID every time? What the hell's the point of that?
Well, I don't know. I have better luck with the flu vaccine. I always take that, and I have never gotten the flu. So, but I didn't have the booster before the winter or the fall before I got it last June. So, and I haven't taken a vaccination since for it.
Yeah, don't even bother.
thing is, my doctor didn't recommend it, which I saw him not too long ago. So I shouldn't say that. He didn't mention it, where normally he does. Over.
He didn't mention what?
The vaccination.
Oh, and he didn't urge you to take it. Is that it?
What normally it has come up in the past, but this time, after I got the COVID back in June, and I came in and saw him a few months later, I asked him about getting the vaccination, what he thought, and he says, you know, I just would wait until January, which was last month, and so he hasn't brought it up since, and neither have I. Over.
Yeah, well, and whatever you do, don't even bother with it.
Well, I mean, yeah, if it don't work, it don't work.
Yep. Feels so good to quit hitting your hand with a hammer when you stop.
Yeah.
All right. Who else do we have in the San Joaquin and San Fernando and Santa Clara Valley here? K6MYC Bozo Net.
WB6JNP course goal.
Yeah, good evening, Dane, and how are you doing up there? You're loud down here tonight.
Yeah, everything's fine. No problems. So anyway, it was a nice day. You know, it's I'm starting to look at all the spring flowers cropping up, and I'm thinking, I don't think Mother Nature got the memo that it's still winter.
Well, maybe she's just hoping it'll be summer. Maybe they're just trying to shut down our rainy season quicker than normal.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to get nailed with something. But, you know, it's sort of like, wow, I didn't even see it coming.
Well, they've been saying it's been coming all day, all fall and all winter here, but so far nothing's been coming of any note. The biggest rain I've had so far is 7/8 of an inch in one night.
Yeah, I forget what we had. It's been under an inch per day, so, you know, kind of okay.
Okay. I haven't heard Dan lately. Maybe Dan can wake up and give us a check-in tonight so we can beat the Bay Area.
Yeah, who knows? Let me see if I can raise him on the other radio.
Okay. We got quite a few check-ins already. Well, I guess we got almost everybody in the Course Gold area except for him and Dr. Dan. I haven't heard Dr. Dan hasn't checked in for over a year, so he may never check in again. Who knows? Anyway, QRZ Bozo Net, San Joaquin Valley and parts in between and beyond. K6MYC, taking check-ins. Over. Boy, the response is deafening. I guess we should go over to Atascadero. Atascadero, can you hear me now, Ron? W6QUI, K6MYC.
I hear you, Mike. Good evening, W6QUI.
Yeah, very good. I'm coming your way, but it'll come up a little bit. But good to hear you. We've been missing you for the last couple of nets. We didn't hear you, what was it, Wednesday night last week. And we didn't hear you on 432 either. I mean, on 1296 either. I don't think Bill was here, but others were here that could listen. Frank had a problem with his 1296 system, but it's repaired now, so you and Frank should be back in good communications. W6BBS up there in Course Gold. So how you doing over there? And did you ever come down with the same thing that Bill got? Over?
Negative. Yeah, he didn't leave it here. That's a good thing. Well, the first and third Wednesdays pretty much never here. I have a board meeting on the third and a monthly dinner meeting on the first Wednesday. So those two Wednesdays are pretty well wiped out most of the time. I do have an update on something that you might be interested in. W6FM, Ron, passed away last Friday. Been having some really long-term issues, and of course we're all sad to hear that, but just thought I think you've talked to him quite a bit, so it leaves a hole in around here with a lot of activities and stuff he was in, so thought I'd mention that to you, Mike. Over.
Yeah, that's too bad. He hadn't checked in here for quite a while, and we knew we had health issues. And that's just too bad. He's got quite an assortment of equipment there, so not being too raucous about it. But if you hear of any kind of an estate sale or anything, please let us know. There may be some people up here that would like to put that equipment back on the air. Over.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that or who's going to handle it or or anything, but yeah, he does have a lot of stuff, that's for sure. Eric should be in here. He said he'd be up on the hill tonight, and I'm pretty sure he's standing by out there. Other than that, I was trying to get my, we had a big heavy wind storm come through here, wiped out Eric's home 2-meter antenna, and wiped out some of my HF stuff. So we've both been trying to get things glued back together here. So we're keeping busy on that. We both lost some trees and stuff like that. So that was a strange storm. The wind came directly from the east, which I've never seen before. And I wasn't, my stuff wasn't supported for a due east wind. It was Eric. So we both suffered on that one. Over.
I'm sorry to hear that. How strong was the wind? What came down?
70 mile an hour, which used to be typical for me. My towers and stuff held up. I've got a full-size fan dipole for 160, 80, and 40, and the mast bent in half, and of course broke some of the wires, stuff like that. And actually, a tree fell on the west side, which probably did the final damage to the support and everything. But little by little, we're going to have it back together. Over.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry to hear about that. At least it was wires and not big Yaggies and stuff. Okay, let's see if Eric's in there. Eric, KN6 Echo India Victor. We haven't heard you for your melodious voice for quite some time, so hopefully you copy good conditions up and down the valley tonight. Ron is very strong here. KN6EIV, K6MYC.
K6MYC. Nice to hear you, Mike. Yeah, this is KN6EIV, Eric here. Yeah, I lost a couple trees and my antenna, and you can draw a straight line between two trees and my antenna. The wind just came barreling down, and I wasn't here. I was in Tasmania doing a 6-day hike over there. But yeah, it made it so I gotta rebuild everything, which is a bummer. Been sawing had a chainsaw out all day today and yesterday, and taking care of those trees. And I tell you, man, my back is hurting right now.
Okay, on the chainsawing, how big a diameter and how tall were the trees, and what kind of tree?
So there were live oaks that came down. Well, actually, there's one valley oak, one live oak, and then some branches from some other stuff. The live oak, it had a trunk diameter of probably about 20 inches. So I got most of that cut off with a small chainsaw, but I got to bring out a bigger chainsaw to cut up the stump part of it. And then live oak, that was just that was pretty small. It was probably maybe 15 inches at the base.
Normally, a 70-mile-an-hour wind won't have any effect on those kind of trees. It might have been that you hadn't had a wind for 40 or 50 years, and they got lackadaisical about building themselves strong. Over.
Yeah, it could have been. I wasn't here, so I don't know, but two people told me that there was confirmed, small tornadoes through here. I don't know that. That's just what they said, But anyway, yeah, whatever it was, you could see where the wind came from, and it was weird on my antenna. My guide wires all held up, but right below right actually in the middle of my guide wires were up a little higher, and boy, it took that pole and just spin it in half, and I mean, jammed my antenna probably about 2 to 3 inches into the soil.
Yeah, I've had the back of mine underground as well. That wasn't the fault of the wind, however. It was my fault. I had a moon bounce array up, and I didn't have a guide. I had disconnected the guide the day before the wind came because it was in the way. I had it tied over to a great big piece of steel, a top rack that came off of a pickup, weighed about 400 pounds. It wasn't going anywhere, but the guy wire was in the way, and I was mowing out there, and I took it off, and I thought, well, I better put this back, and then, of course, I forgot. So the next day, the wind came up and blew the tower over because there was nothing holding it up. Over.
I think that's called Murphy's Law.
Yeah, that's perfect timing. Okay, well, I'm sorry. What was the 2-meter antenna? I can't remember what you had up there.
9-element Yagi. I have another one I haven't put up yet, but yeah, I've been the elements back, and I believe it's going to, one element I might have to replace. It's really bent up, but I'll just bend them back and call it good, I believe.
Yeah, okay. Just check the driven element, make sure no connections inside the driven element broke. Okay, yeah. I thought it was a 2M9 type thing. Okay. Well, good luck, and it's great to hear you up on the hillside. Let's see, Rob, do you want to say hello to Eric, and then we'll pass it around quickly and get on with it. K6MYC. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, good evening, Eric. KM6, the EIV, Kilo Mike 6, Sierra Romeo. You're sounding good tonight, and say hello to Ron there, too. Over.
Yeah, Rob. Right now I'm just on 25 watt, the Kenwood, what is it, 9130, and just a 4-element Yagi here. Anyway, I'll let you say hello to Ron there, and nice to hear you, Rob.
How you doing, Ron? W6QUI, KM6SRR.
Oh, doing fine, Rob. Good signal as usual over here. I hope you didn't suffer any wind damage. Yeah, that was the strangest storm I've ever had. I've had up to 90-mile-an-hour winds here, and that one took my tower and bent it over and laid it on the roof. But the tower's secured now, so that can't happen. But I never expected a wind directly from the east, and nothing was really protected for that. So it will be now. Over.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. I guess we were trying to share some of our good fortune of the wind with you. Anyway, good to see it wasn't too bad damage. Talk to you later, KM6SR.
Okay, very good, Rob. Good evening, and 7 trees to you, Mike.
Roger. Anybody else for Ron and Eric over there? Okay, they're all sitting tight. All right, well, 7 trees, guys. Well, any other people that showed up here for the Bozo Net in the San Joaquin Valley, K6MYC, before I go to Santa Cruz? Go ahead.
K6MI 711.
Yeah, good evening again, John. Nice to chat with you this afternoon.
Very sorry to hear about W6FM.
Roger that. Go to 25.
Did you copy the request for going to 25, whatever that is?
Oh, yeah, I didn't, is that directed at me, and 25 what?
I don't know. Somebody must know that you get on FM and talk on, who wants John, and where do you want him again? Station that said, go ahead, that wanted John to go to 2.5 or something. Go ahead. Maybe there was a confusion factor. Who did you call for? We don't understand what your comments was. Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie, the person that says go to 2.5.
Hey, KM6SR here. I think it was Ron. He's probably already gone, and I think he just wanted to go up 10. Over.
Oh, to 144, 250. Okay, maybe 250. You might look up there for somebody for just a second, John.
Okay, going to 250.
Roger, roger. Okay, I didn't hear any other check-in, so let me go over to Monterey and Santa Cruz. Here we go. Monterey, KWA6LIE and W6TPB, K6MYC. Anybody around?
Hey, very good evening to you, Mike and the gang. WA6LIE. You're sounding good here this evening. I'm listening to the background, and I guess I'm sounding okay. I have a news report from toilet paper bandit. His 3-element beam on his boat got stolen. His 3-element beam on his boat got stolen, so that's why he's not on the air until he's able to replace it or do something about that, Mike. Over.
Okay, you sort of broke up a little bit, but W6TPB had his 3-element beam on 2 meters stolen. Where was the beam located?
On the boat.
Yeah, I believe it was on the boat, Mike. Over.
Somebody got on his boat and stole the 2-meter antenna? I can't believe it.
Yeah, that's right. Somebody had that much nerve to steal the antenna off of his boat. So now he is beamless.
Oh, boy. Well, luckily it wasn't a big one with a lot of dollars wrapped around it. He can probably put up something similar. We have a little 4-element that he might like. We also have a 3. But maybe he can just build a quad loop or something that has less visibility and will do almost as well. A couple of 3 or 4 elements of cubicle quad would do a nice job and be less wind load on the boat there. That's pretty sad. Talking to the South African boys this morning, they said they can't if they don't have their shotguns out and standing guard continually and have GPS find me boxes on every one of their solar panels, they lose it all. The guys come in and steal it. So they have to have GPS source in little boxes that tell them where the panel is, and then they can go get it. And they've got wire fences around their property, 8,000 volts, enough to tickle you, wake up your day. And that doesn't do any good either. So they're having a terrible problem with theft in South Africa. It's much worse over there than here.
Okay, very good there, Mike. Yeah, I know what you mean. That can be pretty bad, especially if you have a lot of copper or something. Anything expensive. Anyway, I have 2 8-element quads made by Cubic. I just kind of put them together. About 2 8-element 2-meter quads that I'm going to be putting up here with the radios I'm using right now. So you will be hearing me a lot better in the near future. I just haven't put them together yet and mounted them up in the air. But when I do, gotta be pretty good there, Michael. Over.
Yeah, that should be pretty good. And what are you using now? A 3-element. Maybe you can give the 3-element to TPB.
Well, I got 2 8-element quads, so they're going to be staggered. One's going to be pointing 10 degrees. The other one's going to be pointing at 50 degrees. They're going to be diagonally polarized, so there won't be vertical nor horizontal, Mike. Over.
you going to do with your old antenna?
The old antenna I'm going to use for a packet, which is part of the WinLink system. So it'll be a WinLink antenna, vertically polarized mic over.
I got it. Okay, very good. Alrighty, well, hopefully TPB can come up with something over there. It doesn't sound like he's hurting too bad. He should be able to just buy something quickly and get back on the air. Hopefully he will do that. Let you go, Scott, and we'll see if Tom and Lee are up there in the Santa Cruz, Watsonville area. 7-3 for now. WA6LIE with lots of QSB tonight. Boy, you're going right down into the noise and then coming right back up to roaring strong. So it's all over the map tonight. WA6LIE 7-3, K6MYC Bozo Net. And KW6S, K6MYC.
K6MYC, KW6S. Yeah, I'm here, and you sound robust tonight.
226 is here.
Okay, we got you, Ken, WA60YB and KW6S. Good strong signal, Tom, yes. Good conditions tonight so far as we go around the compass here. You're very strong, and hopefully Lee will be in there tonight, and we'll get some feedback on what's going on with the Aggie and his status there on 432. I don't think we ever heard him on Thursday night.
No, I don't think so. Let's see, Thursday. Yeah, I was here Thursday. I guess I was on 432 Thursday because we were having trouble making the trip there. But yeah, I've been pretty busy. I've been helping a friend with some antennas, and kind of don't know where I've been.
Yeah, you mentioned that you could have been happier doing other things, as from repairing old broken other brand antennas. Over.
Yeah, it's actually it came out really good, but we had 3 old TH7 DXX antennas. Actually, I think one of them at least was a TH6 to start with, and it came out really good. And we've got enough parts to do at least one more, and maybe buy a few plastic parts and get the third one going.
Yeah, very good. That's what a lot of people are doing now in lieu of buying anything new. New stuff is just brutally expensive.
Yeah, those, I think he got them down like 30 years ago for taking them down, or 20 years ago for taking them down. And but you know, took them apart and cleaned all the joints and dipped the traps. We found 2 bad traps, and well, we don't know if they're bad or not. I couldn't get a dip on them with my grid dip meter, and that isn't always say they're bad, but we didn't need to use them, so we didn't. And otherwise, I think the NOx or whatever it is will actually get the stains from that off my hand in a few days, and it'll all be back to normal.
Okay, we're using blue NOx or pink?
No, I don't know what. No, it's neither one of those. It's some gray, ugly stuff, and I've got a jug of that. Well, I've got 2 different ones, but I've used them both down over the years, and they're both messy.
Yeah, well, if it was red or blue stuff, we'd know that you were on the right side. But being gray, you're kind of undecided, aren't you?
Yeah, you just never know, do you?
Okay. KB6 Lima Echo Lee, I wonder if you're in there this evening. K6MYC Bozo Net. I don't hear Lee.
You made me laugh, Mikey.
I think he got it. Obviously you did.
Well,
he got it. Yeah, he got it. But I was just sitting here kind of in a halfway daze. You made me. I actually laughed out loud.
Well, as long as you don't spit spaghetti on your white shirt, you're good.
Roger.
Okay, who has the other voice in there? Go ahead, K6MYC. Well, maybe it was nobody. Okay, let me just go right into the Bay Area then. Sorry about Lee. I don't know where he is this evening, but we'll do the best we can without him. QRZ to Bay Area Bozo Net, K6MYC, Central California, Delta Mike 07, QRZ Bozo Net, Bay Area.
KB6
Whiskey Bravo 6, Whiskey November India.
Okay, I got quite a few here. KB6BA, no, KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, I think, and WB6 WNI. Gary?
That is correct, 1090.
Okay. And who was the third one? Well, okay. There wasn't a third one. I thought I heard three voices in there. Anyway, Gary, go ahead and make a transmission, and we'll get it around the loop here over to KB6 Whiskey Fox. Was you, right, Mike, WFC?
That was me.
Okay. Get you in a minute. Go ahead, Gary.
Oh, very good. Thanks, Mike. So we're just having a great day here. Haven't done much with radio, so but we had time to check in, so I always like doing that and seeing what activity is on the net. I noted, we won't do today because I have to find it, but I've been asking an interesting question. Is anybody interested in the 6-meter transverter that went with the 101B? If so, it is free. Anyway, back to you, Mike. K6MYC to AB6WNI.
Yeah, I used to have one of those. That was a good transverter. It can work with any antenna or any radio. I think it used a 10 meter IF, if I'm not mistaken. But it was a good transverter. I used mine for many years. Over.
Oh, exactly. And now we have this 847. And you know, I bought it at a flea market many years ago and did not have the 101B. But you're right. I thought it could be used with anything, but now I procrastinated so long I don't need it anymore.
Yeah, well, you made a good choice. It's a big unit, a big bulky. If I remember right, it even had a tube in it, didn't it?
Oh, it has a tube, and it weighs about 10 pounds. It weighs, probably as much as the radio I'm talking to you on.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, it was a good one, but maybe you could sell it. You might look on the Fox Tango Club, see if anybody on the Fox Tango Club website has any interest in it. That'd be where I would think that there would be interest to our vintage stuff like that.
All right, I'll do that. You know, especially if somebody's local. You never know. You've got a lot of guys running U.S. military surplus, so, you know, this would be a big, much newer. Anyway, Mike, 73, and thanks for that tip. K6MYC to AB679.
Good to hear you, Gary, and no problem. Hopefully you can find a home for it. KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, good evening, Mike. How's the weather over there? It was glorious, a glorious day here, over.
K6MIC and the group, KB6WFC returning. Yeah, no, it was, actually yesterday was better, a little warmer, but today it kind of cooled off a bit with a slight breeze, but there is no clouds. But I hear there's some offshore, so we might get some drops tomorrow. But otherwise, yeah, beautiful winter day.
Yeah, it was well over 70 here. They said it was going to be 70 or above, and it was. It was just really nice. No breeze, and just fantastic working weather. Perfect temperature for working outside. And I did that for 5 hours, so. All right. very quiet in the Bay Area tonight. Who else do we have hiding in the shadows there? K6MYC Bozo Net, Bay Area.
AB6SR hiding.
And WA6AXX, no traffic.
Okay, good evening, Stan, and good evening, Ed. Stan, take a transmission and see how you're faring today. It was probably a nice day over there, like it was here. Over.
Yes, K6MYC, AB6SR. Yeah, yesterday was, I think, a little bit warmer than today, but both were equally nice. I think it was 71 here yesterday. It's marginally cooler today, but yeah, it was a great day. Nice weekend all around. It's a long time since we had that, so nothing new here. Good to hear Ed up there in the hill. So yeah, nothing really. Back to you. I didn't do any work outside today. I went out for a bit, but didn't do anything. K6MYC, AB6SR with the group.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was up pretty early today. I got up at about 7:30, but I had some fun on the air with my friends in South Africa and a few other people. Pretty good round table this morning. And then I stopped and had breakfast and felt sleepy, so I sat down in the chair, and the next thing you know, it was noon. So I started my day at noon, but I did work until 5, at which time I stopped and watched my friend Levin. Anyway, good. It was a good day, just a beautiful day to work outside or do anything or nothing for that matter. Ed, over to you, AB6, WA6AXX up on the hill, K6MYC.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, yesterday was 65, today 62, but beautiful day. So I did some community service today. I collected the trash along our private road. We have about a 600-foot private road, and stuff falls off the recycle collection truck, and stuff. So I have a long pole, telescopic pole. I was able to get into the bushes and jar it loose and get all that stuff done. So that's what I did today. It was a beautiful day. Nice to be outside. And that's about it. K6MYC, WA6AXX.
Yeah, well, what kind of beer are they drinking up on your road lately?
What kind of beer? No beer. No, it's just stuff, like water bottles, and there were some of it's from the storm, when we had very, very strong winds. There was plant pots, pots for plants, plastic ones, with all kinds of paper and stuff. So, but it's all clean now.
Well, good. At least you didn't have to clean the streets of San Francisco, did you?
No, there's no poop.
No poop on your side roads, except animal poop, which is normal.
Right.
Okay, very good. Well, that sounds like that's gratifying to do that. I don't have a situation like that. We get so little stuff. I find on my property line, and I have at least a quarter of a mile of property line that's right along the road. And while I've lived here, I bet you I could count on 2 hands how many pieces of trash I've picked up. An old bottle. There was a couple of bottles that didn't break, a beer can or 2, and old vintage stuff, and nothing recently. So people have been really good about not throwing stuff out on my property, at least, which is good. But when they throw it on my property, it shows up right away. Okay. Who else do we have? We're missing PQL and JNN. Who are the gems tonight?
Oh, we got to sneak in between all those big guns out here, Mike. K6MYC, W6PQL.
Oh, you're a big gun. You got big signal tonight, Jim. Good evening, and I thought I heard another voice in there as well, so maybe JNN is in there also. And I'm assuming your weekend went okay there, over?
Yeah, just enjoyed it. We had really good weather. It was clear both days. got quite a few kilowatts from the solar system, you know. It's kind of fun to see that happen. And no worries, over.
Yeah, good. Frank came over yesterday, and we had bought some used panels that he ran across up there. One of the guys, as a neighbor to him, had some panels up. I think he had 50 panels, 320 watt panels. They're slightly used and a little bit old, but they seem to put out at least 300 watts. Anyway, we hooked up. We added those to my string, so we had my string and then two more strings of 7 and 14. And we ended up, when he glanced at it with pretty decent sun, we had 9,000 watts coming in, so it's helping, over.
Oh yeah, that's a lot bigger system than I've got. I've got 29 panels up there, and I don't know what it will do, but today I think it was something like 4.3. They're not all pointed correctly. One's on one side of the house where the sun is on the afternoon. One set is 14 of them, older ones. And the newer set, 15 panels, is on the side of the house as the sun rises. So one of them kind of picks it up in the morning, the other one picks it up in the afternoon. Altogether, during the summer, it should be pretty much double what I've been having. So I'm kind of anxious to see that happen when it does. I guess it'll probably be May and June when we get the most sun over here, anyway.
Yeah, very good. Well, we are. My old panels kind of faced not exactly southwest, but south-southwest. So a little bit, maybe 2 hours past noon for sun at that point. And then the other panels we just laid on the bank of my driveway, which was fabricated, and they built the house. They needed to fill in the canyon. So I have this nice bank. It's about 25 feet high, sloping at about a 45 degree. I think Frank thinks it was sloping at 90 degrees because he went up and down it about 15 times and wiped himself out. But I think it's sloping about 45. Anyway, it was hard to hold and put those panels up, but he got 21 of them laying on the ground on the hillside there. Perfect. And buttoned them all together. And but they've sort of faced the rising sun or southeast sort of. So, but they do get quite a few hours together where they both see sun, and I think that was where and I think we probably could get more than 9,000 on a good day. So that helped a lot, and batteries were charged fully up by noon today because we had sun from the get-go with this glorious day we had. Fine on your stuff. Let me see if Jim, I shouldn't say Jim Jr. by any means. He's far from that. Jim J&N. How about it, Jim? WB6JNN, K6MYC.
K6MYC, WB6JNN. Yeah, I'm here. I just was listening to you, and I tried to call a couple of times, but I got buried by other people. So that's the nature of the game when you're only 50 watts, I guess.
Well, I don't know whether it's that or timing. Because you're pretty strong over here. I should have heard you through that, but I never. Maybe I did. I heard voices in there a couple of times. Then I stood by for other people, and then you didn't come in. So I don't think when I stood by, you must either not heard me or it wasn't you that was calling in at that point. Anyway, glorious day here. Did you fly anything today?
Oh, I sure did. I took advantage of the day and went over to the big park and flew my motor glider, got it up pretty high and just floated it down. And it was a little bit bumpy air though, so it wasn't the best day for it, but I did get it in a thermal one time and had it go up a little bit, so can't complain. And ran through a whole battery worth, so usually I stop at that point. But I did have a spare battery, but I just decided it was a little bit, a few times there were some downdrafts that made me a little bit shy about continuing. So I wrapped it up. WB6JNN.
What's a sound trap?
What's that?
What is a sound trap? You said there were some sound traps, so you felt like not continuing.
Oh, no. Downdraft.
Ah. downdrafts, okay. Got it. I guess I had my head in the wrong place there. Okay, well, good. I'm glad at least you got a flight in. That's been some time since you flew something, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a park that is, well, the main playground's over on one side, and there's a huge area where you could put probably 3 or 4 soccer fields, so it's a big park. And aside from people with their dogs in there, there's very little else that goes on in the park area itself. I'm not quite sure why there aren't more people doing sports there, because there are quite a few Asians around and they like to do their soccer, but if I pick my times, there's not too many people around in the park, and certainly not in the flying area, so it's a nice place to go.
Yeah, sounds great. Okay. Well, I don't know if your box has gotten over here yet. Matt has not mentioned it, but maybe it'll get in here Monday, over.
Yeah, it probably is going to. We probably got there today if they make deliveries on Saturday, but you never know these days when they're going to make a delivery. But yeah, it probably wasn't when they were there. But who knows? But anyway, should get there in a day or so. Probably. Yeah, I would think by now I would have gotten there, though.
Well, I'm in a really confusion now because today is not Saturday, but it is Monday GMT. But they don't deliver on Sunday, much less at the plant. Sometimes they do home deliveries at some weird days and all, but we'll probably see it Monday. Anyway, we're looking forward to seeing that and get Ken involved. Ken is in here, and I'm sorry didn't get it over to you, Ken. We just got rolling here, and I'm just goofing along and didn't give you a chance to say hello to Tom or anybody, but I figured if you really had something to say, you would have jumped in. WA6OIB and the group K6MYC.
Yeah, no problem. K6MYC and the gang, WA6OIB. I'm just sitting here monitoring and listening and waiting here to help if I need, if I can be of assistance. So, no problem. Just hoping you're all having a good night, and I will continue monitoring. WA6OIB, Northern Clovis.
Yeah, it was a glorious day here, wasn't it? I imagine it was beautiful at your place too, huh?
Oh yeah. We picked olives, green, black olives. My son's doing a batch of them for us. So we picked 2 buckets full of olives today. So nice outside.
Ah, very good.
KB6BS.
I thought that was, my ears were burning. I knew you were lurking, and I was going to call your call sign next, Oliver. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I got busy in the computer and turned the volume up, so glad I caught you guys. A nice day here today in the Bay Area.
Yeah, I guess we're all going to have a little bit of sprinkles. They said there was a very slight chance of rain today, but we didn't have any clouds. And last night also I looked at the moon. Just as I was walking out here tonight at 7:30, I could see the moon coming up. It was up at about 2 degrees. Just peeping over the Sierras, and that was a nice view, but clear as a bell, of course, so we've got just beautiful clear skies here. I think you could call it slightly hazy, but boy, it didn't make any difference. The sun burned right through and was just, and the cats were out today. They said, good God, she finally went away with the dogs, and we can run around and not get chased. Oh, what a glorious day they had. They had fun today, but they're really edgy. First couple of days after the dogs are here for a day or so, they are really edgy. Every little noise, every little thing has got them spooked. But they did enjoy the sun, so that was good. All right, very good, Oliver. Anybody else in the Bay Area? We're missing a few. KD6SOK, K6KLY, KT2G. Perhaps a couple of others. For gosh sake, I've forgotten. Well, K6QFO, but he hasn't been in here for ages. K6MYC, Bozo Net, Bay Area. Where are you guys? We're still ahead in course gold. even with that, I can't get him out of the woodwork. All right, let's go up and get Russ.
Good idea.
Yeah, go ahead, Russ.
I'm all for that. Gary, you here?
Yep, go ahead, Russ. He just called you.
Oh, yeah, I know. Listening to everything here. Yeah, good evening. Great signal tonight. Great conditions. Wonderful weather all day like everybody's been talking about. And just a fantastic day to live. And conditions here, you're 40 over. And Gary, my gosh, you're the strongest I've heard you in a long time. You're up against the taking out my LED here. So go ahead and take it there, Larry, and talk.
Yeah, this is Gary, Kilo Echo 6 Quebec Romeo. Wanted to say hi to all the Bozo Net tonight. I was almost going to say Country Cousins. I'm net control every Sunday night on Country Cousins Net 3970, and known as Cousin Gary there. So I got to be careful of which net I'm on and how I address myself. Anyway, we had a lot of fun contesting this weekend. We did both contests, the 160-meter contest, and also the North American CUSA Party RTTY. So not big numbers, but we did have a lot of fun, and 160 acted like it was going to be a pretty dead band, but Saturday evening late, I started working East Coast stations on sideband. I was quite impressed by that. So a lot of due diligence. I was able to pick out a few contacts here. Anyway, go ahead, Russ. Sure.
Yeah, okay, fine, Gary. I hope I didn't call you Larry instead of Gary, but then that'd be a mistake. Just blame that in old age. And don't comment on anything you down there, Mike, because you sound like you had a wonderful day and your animals and cats and everything else. So that's great. Back to you.
Yeah, well, I was happy for the cats. They suffer. They don't have to, but they just can't get used to the dogs. We got one dog that's very aggressive, and she barks at them and chases them. Probably wouldn't do anything if she caught him, but she can't catch him, but she barks, and she's got a real high-pitched bark, and it just aggravates the hell out of the cats. So they scatter, and so 24, 36 hours go by, and I don't see a cat anywhere. And that's unusual because they're usually here at least twice a day just to get fed, if nothing else. So they were in and out today, but did get some food. So that was good. We've lost Abby again. Abby's taken off. Boy, he must have two homes. He goes away for about 4 days, and he's back here for 4 days. And I don't know where he goes, but he must be getting fed somewhere else as well. But he does come here, and when he gets here, he's a hungry beast. I'll tell you that. Okay. Let me see. Okay, on the contest, let's see how. Did you see any effect from this CME that was supposed to hit us? There's supposed to be a lot of sun flare disturbances over the next couple of days, I think, Gary, over?
Yeah, but I'm not that knowledgeable on what I would be seeing. I think Ken could probably give a lot better account of that. But I just say I had a lot of fun and enjoyed my time in the chair here contesting.
Yeah, very good. All righty, up to you, Ken. N6 Radio Oscar, K6MYC.
K6MYC and Company, N6RO 835. Nice day here also. I spent most of it trying to wrench my body clock back to something like normal because yesterday was completely upside down. I took the weekend off from contesting. I had planned to just do a little casual work in the 160. And what I did was yesterday morning I fell asleep in my chair, which I always do watching TV. Woke up about 5 and couldn't get back to sleep, so I stayed up waiting for my operator who was going to do the ready contest, which started at 10. Well, I stayed up waiting for him till 1 o'clock, and I went to bed. And he came in about 3, I guess, and worked 15 stations, went home. So not much production. Tomorrow should be a little more profitable, or let's say eventful day. My chief engineer is coming up, and we're going to trace down what's causing an arc fault in one of my amplifiers, bringing his high quiet device. And oh boy, we're going to remove a bunch of old rusted hardware from the 20-meter boom, both of them actually, from the replacement boom and the usable stuff that we need from the broken boom. I'm going to put it on the new one. Anyway, that's enough detail for now. N6RO.
Well, there shouldn't be anything rusting up there except for the U-bolts that held it on the mast. Everything else should have been stainless unless somebody else replaced it. But we shipped it with stainless originally. I never used regular hardware except for the U-bolt.
Yeah, no, the U-bolts are not the problem. On the old boom, there's a great big box that W6MUR built himself, or it was supplied with a Wilson 40-meter 3-element, whose boom we're going to use on the 20-meter. But there are some the clamps on the broken boom for the trusses, the guy wires, they are rusted, so we're going to replace those. Anyway, we'll get the new boom ready and decide how to get it back on the tower.
Yeah, very good. Well, at least you're making headway. Yeah, the only thing I could think of maybe on our old boom, we couldn't. Well, I didn't say we couldn't, but we didn't want to go to the expense of stainless steel eye bolts. So if the boom had eye bolts in it, we may have used galvanized ones there for the overhead truss, and that might be what rusted up on you after 45 years. But everything else should have been stainless on our stuff anyway. Okay, well, good, and it sounds like you rested up a little bit. I worked for about 5 hours trimming trees today, as we have been doing 3 to 5 hours every day for the last week or so. And this day was up on the ladder. I was up quite a ways, and I'd been up on the ladder, but different kinds, step ladders and/or just regular extension ladders. But today it was just step ladders. So I'm keeping my skill level at a reasonable area. Let's see if Steve is in there. He should be back from his trips. W6 Sugar Whiskey in the group, K6MYC.
Yeah, Whiskey 6 Sierra, Sarah Whiskey, Bozo 793. Yeah, I didn't go anywhere, but my sister came and visited from Arizona, so haven't seen her in a few years, so that was nice. Her and my other sister, who lives out in Stockton, one of the days we went out and toured the minesweeper that they're restoring out in near the Stockton Marina. So that was an interesting tour. The guy gave us a great comprehensive tour of that old ship. All made out of wood, like minesweepers were then. So they've been doing a lot of work on this thing. It's a pretty interesting project. So yeah, we had nice visits and stuff, and took her out on a boat ride and over to the local restaurants and things, and that kind of stuff. So took advantage of the good weather days and all that. So back on the air. W6SSW.
Yeah, very good. How many mines did they find in your delta there?
Yeah, once they get it going, maybe they'll start using it for that. But they built that. They actually built this one wasn't built here in Stockton, but three of the sister ships were. So they built these things all over the place. So it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, those tours, we went to a couple of those. Last time we went back to Dayton, we went to a place, can't remember now what it was, but it was some old historical place in Dayton and around Dayton, Ohio, and we had one of those tours. Oh, the Wright Brothers is what it was. Yeah, we went to the Wright Brothers Museum, and boy, that was interesting. And the fellows there tell you all about the airplane and how it was built and how they flew it and all that. Good stuff. All right, very good, Steve. Thanks much. We'll see you, of course, tomorrow night on 6 meters and on. evening for now, and we'll go on. I haven't heard the voice from Clear Lake yet. Clear Lake, are you guys in there?
Yeah, we're on PPP, Clear Lake.
Oh boy, you're roaring in tonight, Dave. Who else do you have?
Dennis is going to get fixed maybe Wednesday, is what I heard. He's got a bad connector on his LMR 600, and Ken is around here somewhere.
Well, Dennis already fixed the 432 array that had the bad connector. He was on here on Thursday on 432, and he said he had already fixed the bad connector over.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought he was going to get to it next Wednesday, so I maybe got bad information.
Well, maybe he couldn't wait, or maybe we're talking about two different things. He said he had, what the hell would he said something with the inside of the end of the connector. Got water in there somehow, and yada yada. I just can't remember what all happened there. I lost the ground or something.
Oh yeah, well I know all about that. My 220 is still weird. My 2-meter antenna is still cocked at about a 30-degree angle off of the rest.
Oh, from the winds?
Yeah, it twisted the upper shaft out, so I got to get up there and try to straighten it out.
I'll be darned. Let's just take a standby. You're holding up nicely. Anybody else want to say hello to Clear Lake? We hardly ever hear them this regular. How about you, Ken? How about you, Frank? How about you, Rob?
I can barely hear him, so they probably won't hear me.
59 in Vallejo, KE6QR.
I'm hearing him off the back in 6RO.
Okay, go ahead, Ken.
I'm just saying I could hear N1PP, and he had a real loud peak for a minute, so there's some QSB in there, but it's nice to hear in all directions.
And I think KE6QR. Go ahead, Gary.
Yes, he's off the side of my beam, 10 over. I always hear him here quite often. We seem to have a pretty good line of sight, I think.
Okay, good. Copying that, Dave?
Yeah, I heard K6QR pretty well.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, I didn't hear the other station.
Well, he's off the back of his beam. That's Ken, N6 Radio Oscar, over.
Oh, N6RO, okay. Yeah, I see him on FT8 off and on.
Yeah, he's, you can hear what he sounds like here on the chat room. He's usually very loud, and he is tonight, too. Anyway, you're holding up nicely. You got a little flutter now, but still holding in there. No deep QSB. I've had deeper QSB on some of the other stations than you tonight, over. Well, there it is. Alrighty, anybody else in this direction before I move to Sacramento? K6MYC Bozo Net. Okay, nothing heard? Roger. We got your fade away. 7373 Dave. And up to KJ6KFB and KO6KD. How about it, Darren?
Kilo Juliet 6, Kilo Foxtrot Bravo.
Yeah, good. 856 KJ6 KFB. Good to hear you. And how you doing over there?
I'm doing okay. It's 756, and 759's hanging out here, and 776 might be in here. Otherwise, we'll just have to check him in. I heard from him a little bit ago. He might have fallen asleep in the chair or something. With that, everything going fine here. Just trying to hold the fort down. KJ6 KFB. Good evening, Mike.
Yeah, very good, Darren. From a pretty strong signal this evening, not too much fading. Well, I'm hearing my neighbor's inverter system. It was quite strong today from time to time. I'm pointed right over it when I point at you guys, and it's loud, although I'm copying you through it. Thanks much. We'll take a standby first for Bill, and then I'll look for John. I got to move the antenna a little bit more north for John. KO6KD, KO6KD, K6MYC, over. Don't hear Bill, but we've got him checked in. All right, let me go up a little bit more. KR6MR, K6MYC.
Good evening, Mike. K6MYC.
Yeah, really fluttery and noisy, but we got you. KR6MR. How was your day? It was glorious, a glorious sunny 70-degree plus day here, over.
It was the 60s here, very nice. Not as warm as, I think yesterday was warmer, but still, it's been great weather. I thought it was going to rain today, but it hasn't. Everything's doing good. I'm trying to catch up on my garden work. I'm getting closer, over.
Yeah, very good. I can hear you coming through. I can hear you coming through your radio or your computer, listening in the stream there. So your audio sounds pretty good there. Your Q5 coming through the background there, over.
Okay, that's good to hear. I'll turn down the cell phone, so I guess that was feeding back. Sorry about that.
It doesn't bother me as long as you can stand it. A lot of people can't talk when they hear their own voice coming back at them. Anyway, we got our fingers crossed for Tuesday, but hopefully tomorrow night we'll work you on 6. Of course, shouldn't be any problem on 6. And I don't think you have 222, do you?
No, and I don't have any room in my tower.
Well, that's the other problem. Okay. Very good. I haven't heard Bill. Let me give Bill one more shout. And I haven't heard K6 Whiskey India Sugar tonight either.
Neither have I.
Okay. That means I didn't miss him. KO6KD. Bill, are you there? No Bill. Okay. Anybody else up this way? Let's try for Redding. Let me see if I can get Redding in here. Redding, KO6, KD6SW, KD6 Sugar Whiskey, and KO6HS, K6MYC. Are you there, Rich? Over?
Why, of course. This is KD6 Shortwave, number 145, way up here in Redding.
Yeah, got you all okay. I've got some real grungy noise in here, but we're copying you through it. It's not Q5, but you're probably not up at a peak either. But good to hear you. Thanks for being so consistent up that way. KD6SW, K6MYC, then we'll take a standby for Jerry, over.
Yeah, okay, your signal's starting to come back up here again. Yeah, you were hitting about S5, S6 there for the longest time. Then a great day. Got a lot of yard work taken care of, a lot of weed whacking and tree trimming and all that other kind of fun stuff. All the good things you get to do as a homeowner, over.
Yeah, well, I did that today as well. I didn't do any weed eating, but I was tree trimming for 5 hours today. Up and down step ladders and brushing. And got a nice passageway through the oak tree that leans into the house on the northeast side. The tree had been kind of brushing the corner of the roof for some time, and I just wanted to get that back so it didn't, when the wind comes, it doesn't damage the shingles, and it also doesn't drop leaves in the gutter. Hi. So I know the routine, over.
Oh, yeah, well, you got to have some fun someplace. By the way, I'm going to try to get to you on 432. I got my antenna system up and operating right now. It's not perfectly tuned up, but at least it works. Jerry come by the other day, and we got that thing taken care of. Mike, over.
Well, very good, very good. We'll look for you on Thursday night then. We'll look for you, of course, Wednesday night, but please remind me on Wednesday night that I should look for you. Because you're going to be passed over if I don't get my head in gear, over.
Oh, we don't want that to happen. I did hear a little bit out of you there last Thursday, or last time on 432, which only a couple of words, but the antenna's up a little bit higher than it was before. Not much, but at least it's up in the clear. All right, we'll give it a shot and see what happens, Mike. Over.
Yeah, well, the 432 antenna is very narrow. It's two big 40-element cross-polarized Yagis side by side, so they got a very narrow pattern. I got to be right on you, so that could be part of the reason that you're hearing me intermittently. So we'll make about 3 or 4 calls as I sweep antenna back and forth across you, and we'll find a peak, I'm sure. It's usually right where it's supposed to be, but sometimes we get a little bit different from one night to the next. So sometimes it's 5 degrees over here or 5 degrees over there. But that 5 degrees can make quite a difference on that array. I run about 800 watts to 240-element Yagis at 90 feet, over.
Well, that certainly ought to help overcome some of the path loss, that's for sure. Well, we'll see what happens. I only have a 13-element up here, just a little dinky thing. It was kind of a big square looking in the house here when I had it standing up alongside the wall. But when I get it up on the underneath the 6-meter antenna, it looks like a really dinky apology kind of antenna. I hope it works okay. We'll see.
Okay, I just got the noise blanker turned on. It really got pretty bad toward the end there, so I didn't get some of the information about 432. But we'll look for you, or we'll try it again in a minute. Let's see if I get Jerry in here. Maybe the path will come up. KO6HS, K6MYC. Jerry, are you there tonight?
KR6MR update.
Hang on. You, Jerry, but not very Q5. It would be Q5 except for massive flutter distortion. It's very fluttery at the moment, so just hang on a second. Just Q or X1, the KR6MR broke in, and let me get an update from him. Just stand by, guys. K6MYC. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, thank you, KR6MR. Just got a hold of Bill. He's down sick, his stomach problems. He probably will not make tomorrow morning's net with you. So I just want to let you know, KR6MR.
Yeah, you fluttered down on him. He's down with something, but I didn't get the rest of it. What's wrong with Bill?
Relay.
I'm sorry. He has stomach issues as well as his back issues. He's going to get it looked at. He will not make the radio net tomorrow morning. Over.
Roger. Okay, got it. Well, there's a new kind of sort of a COVID, but not a COVID. It's a new virus going around. Hopefully he does not have that. It's called Noro, N-O-R-O. I think that's the name of it, N-O-R-O. It's a very violent diarrhea and projectile vomiting. So it's a very, very strong virus with very, very bad side effects, if you want to call it that. Hopefully he doesn't have any of that. I know his back, he didn't know what he did to it. It just started to hurt. So maybe it's all related. Wish him my best if you're talking to him. Tell him he's in our prayers. Hopefully he'll feel better ASAP. Thanks, John. KR6MR, K6MYC, over.
Okay, very good. Yeah, norovirus is nothing new. It's been around a while, and it is nasty. Anyway, I'll pass the word on to Bill. Probably want to hear maybe tomorrow evening. I don't know. See how he's doing. KR6MR, back to net.
Well, I know it hasn't made it much to the West Coast yet. It's working its way on the East Coast. That's why it's kind of new to us out here, over.
Okay, no problem, KR6MR.
Yeah, have you heard of it out here a lot, over?
Well, if you're talking about norovirus, that's nothing new. That's been around for years.
Well, this must be a new and improved version. It's very vicious, over.
Oh, great. Now I can't sleep. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow night. KR6MR.
Yeah, okay. I heard about it, the long pathway from South Africa, long path to me this morning on 20 meters. And he didn't go into the history of it, but he just mentioned that had we seen it or heard of it over here, and I had not heard of it here or had anybody that had anything like it, but projectile vomiting and diarrhea both, which is not fun. Over.
Yeah, okay. Thank you much. Catch you later, Mike. KR6MR.
Yeah, okay. Just try to forget what I said. Over. Okay, see you later. And back to you, Jerry. Let's see if the bands come up at all. KO6HS, K6MYC. Try it now, Jerry.
Roger, KO6HS 230. Yep, looks like it came up just a little bit there, so we'll make sure and see how we're sounding back down there to you. Over.
Okay. I didn't quite understand what you were saying. You know, see how it works out or something, but I wasn't sure what you were talking about. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Just wanted to keep it short there to make sure we're making it. So looks like we're taking just a little bit there. So past it quite to what it should be, but we'll try to make it maybe about
yeah, it's just gotten so broken up with the QSB and whatever else you can call it, multipath flutter or something, but it's strong enough, but it's really hard to understand. If anybody else is doing better on the live streaming, let me know, but I'm having trouble with Jerry. Anybody copying Jerry better? Over. Okay, no response, so it's not doing any better going through the live streaming. Let's get it back to Rich for your final, Rich, and then we'll get up to Nevada and wrap this thing up here. K6MYC up to KD6SW. Sopping wet.
Yeah, sopping wet. Well, nothing much more I can add to that. I think tomorrow changing the weather a little bit. Looks like we got some more rain coming in. Oh, boy, golly, just what I need. All right, 7-3, Mike. Well, look for you Wednesday. I'll try again tomorrow night on 6 meters and see what happens. KD6 shortwave ready.
Yeah, Roger. Well, 6 meters was pretty awful to you guys the other day. I did not hear a peep. From you on 6 meters, but we'll try again tomorrow night. Probably around 8:45 to 9 o'clock, somewhere in that window. 8:45 to 9 to 9 o'clock. Over.
Okay, well that's a date, and we'll go ahead and look for you there on 6 then tomorrow. Hasn't been too good, but well, who knows? Maybe the pattern might start to change, you know.
Yeah, and I'll be swinging by you right around 8:30, a little bit before 8:30. Probably I'll be pointed in your direction just briefly. We'll be starting in Nevada, and so when I come off at Nevada, I'll give you one quick call there and pick up some Sacramento guys. There's a couple of the fellows that check in, and then we'll listen for you at about 8:25 to 8:30. If we miss you then, we'll catch you on the return flight. Over.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. Well, now that you got streaming on 6 meters, I will listen for you there, and then as soon as the opportunity presents itself, I'll jump in there and then give you a call.
Roger. Yes, you should be seeing the live stream, and you can watch and see when I'm coming, and I'll announce where I'm pointing. Over.
Okay, well, I know when to listen for you. It's a really nice feature that you got there.
Yeah, initially I would think just start with CW. If it gets good enough, I'll tell you to go to phone. But start with CW. That way I can check you in immediately if we just have a little bit of an opening. If I hear CW, I know it's you. Over.
Okay, well, it's a deal, then. We'll look for you there. Yeah, CW always seems to work all the time. That'll get through when nothing else does.
Well, it at least gets my attention easier than sometimes. If I have noise, sideband gets lost in the noise sometimes, but I can copy the CW note through it, or at least detect it. I may not be able to copy, but I can detect it easier. There you go. 7-3. Good to hear you as always, and I'm glad you had a good, nice. It was a beautiful weekend down here. I think you had the same up there. 73. Anybody else before I go to Nevada? K6MYC.
Alpha Juliet 6, Quebec Lima.
AJ6 Queen Lima, isn't it? Alpha Juliet 6 Queen Lima. Good evening, George.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. Your signal is very weak today, not good band conditions, so I'll keep it short. Bozo is 1031, over.
Okay, George. Well, you're pretty good copy here, but I probably am not quite at you. I moved the antenna a little bit back to Sacramento because today, at least, or tonight, the Sacramento boys, I mean the Redding guys were coming in more over Sacramento than up your way. So take another transmission, George, and I'll see if I can peek a little bit on you there. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Mike, Bozo number is 1031, and I'm not in Sacramento, but about 35 miles east of there. So if you pointed somewhere to Placerville or yeah, that should work, somewhere in that direction. So hopefully this was enough transmission. Back to you, Mike, 86 QS.
Yeah, well, it's perfect copy, George, and quite loud. Much better than the last couple of times. You're louder than you have been for the last couple of weeks. Well, I don't know what you're hearing from me. That's still 1,500 watts. Everything looks normal here, so you should hear us pretty good. But there is QSB, and I have been moving the antenna back and forth, so there might be times when I'm a bit down from where I should be, but it's mostly pointing, over.
Yeah, Mike, it's a lot of QSB on there. Your signal is 5859, so that's not the problem. Sometimes it drops to S1, but like you said, that's QSB. I don't know what causes it, but some kind of strange condition for 2 meters, over.
Yeah, I'm seeing it on you. You do about S6, S7, and you drive back down to S1. We're seeing it here, too. I don't know what causes it either, except it's the disturbed tropo. That's when the tropo's got wind and it hasn't really settled anything, and you get layers, and they're not really well-defined layers of tropo or inversion. I think that's part of most of it. So who knows? Anyway, good to hear you, George. Thanks very much for being there. Appreciate your continued support here. And I assume you're watching the live streaming. AJ6 Queen Lima, K6MYC.
I don't have the live stream on yet, but I will look for it now. So when you get to the Nevada guys. Okay, 73, Mike, 73s, and talk to you next time. K6MYC, AJ6QS.
Okay, very good. And you can go back and listen to what happened 5 minutes ago, so you can go back and into the archive and listen it back a few minutes. I'm not sure just what the technique for that is, but I think it's pretty straightforward to go forward and back from this moment onward. Anyway, good luck, and we'll see you on Wednesday. AJ6 Queen Lima, K6MYC. Anybody else before I go to Nevada? Bozo Net. Okay, nothing heard. Let's go to Nevada. Okay. I heard you a long time ago, Richard, but I haven't heard you since. KD6BQ, K6MYC, over.
Yeah, K6MYC, KD6BQ, number 249. I'm copying you pretty good right now. Anyway, yeah, I heard you say that you got me checked in. I sent some Rogers, but it was covered up by other people talking, over.
No, I didn't hear the Rogers at all. They didn't come through, and I can copy the Rogers through anybody's sideband. Nobody was that strong that I wouldn't have heard it. But that's okay. We have you written in, and that's the main thing. And good to hear you. And it's good to know that you're hobbling back and forth and doing better every day, I think, with the bad ankle there, over.
Yep, we're getting better. We're going, Wednesday we go to see the doctor. He's going to x-ray it, and hopefully he tells me I'm free to walk. So let's cross my fingers and hope for the best. Bob, K2DRH, says to say hello. I had a nice chat with him on 10 meters today, over.
Oh, really? Is he back at the house, or where is he?
He's at his house up in Albany, Illinois. Is that what you know he is?
Yeah, Roger. Well, I'm looking forward to working him on 40 meters again. And we used to talk almost every night on 40. He had a high gain 2 element of about 160 feet. And of course, it worked pretty well at that altitude. So we had no trouble copying. But thanks for passing on his hellos. It's good to hear from him. He's been very quiet for the last year. He fell and broke his back very slightly, but a cracked back. And he really didn't ever recover from that. And about the same time that happened, he had a windstorm and it wiped out the 40-meter antenna. So with a bad back, he wasn't able to do his own repair. He likes to do his own work. So I don't know if he's got anything up on 40 meters or not, but maybe if he can just throw up a wire at 60 feet, that would be helpful. Anyway, I'm glad to hear from him and know he's at least well. Thanks for that, Richard. KD6BQ, K6MYC.
K6MYC, November 7, Whiskey Tango. WC 657, when last heard, you are 5 and 9 in here, over.
Yeah, good signal here, Larry. N6 and 7, Whiskey Tango. K6MYC, good to hear you.
Yeah, I had an interesting visitor today. He was a ham radio operator from Germany. Stopped by the house to visit me today. I didn't know him from Edmund, but we just met. He's working in Reno for Tesla. He works at the Tesla company, and he happened to be driving around, saw my antennas, and wanted to visit. So anyway, we had a good long visit for the fellow from Germany, over.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. That's good. And how long is he going to be here? Did he have an idea?
I don't know. It's apparently a temporary assignment. I gave him my email, and he said when he gets back home, he wants to email me and see if we can hook up on the ham radio.
Yeah, very good. And he should also, I don't know whether you told him or not, but he could watch and keep track of you and make some comments, at least on the chat room part of the live streaming. We can take chatter that way, over.
Yep, I went so far as while he was sitting here talking with me, I turned on my TV set, went up on Bozo Net, and played yesterday's replay. Showed him how TV kept us out here to watch live streaming while we're during his activity. So he's seen all that, over.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, that's good. I'm glad to have it exposed. The more we can expose it, I think the better it is for ham radio in general. And it might also stimulate some other people to go a little further with their VHF and UHF stuff, over.
Roger. Anyway, I worked a pretty rare country today on FT8 on 10 meters. I finally worked. I've been trying to get him for about 3 days. JT1 Bravo Victor in Mongolia was on, and I said, boy, the pilots were so bad. It took me 3 days to finally get through the pilots to work him, over.
Yeah, well, at least it was 10 meters. At least you have propagation you could take advantage of. That's good. Congratulations on Mongolia.
Yeah, I've worked it before on Saipan years ago, but I just hadn't heard it recent history. Of course, he showed up on FT8 here a while back, and I've been trying to work him ever since. But you know what? That's the trouble with FT8. So many people call. It's not the same as when you get to break through the files with a kilowatt. You're just there until you get ready. It'll let you get to you, I guess, over.
Yeah, understand. Okay, you're dropping a bit. I don't know whether Daniel's got his 2 meters fixed. I think he does. Let's see if Daniel's in here. KE7UQL, K6MYC. Daniel? Okay, nothing heard from Daniel. How about K7SUN, K7 Sierra Uniform November? Are you here, Stan? Okay, nothing from Stan. How about you, Dale? KJ6 India X-ray, KJ6IX, K6MYC. Over, Dale. Nothing heard here, Larry, over.
Yeah, nothing heard here either, Mike.
The noise again. That's 7WT. Band has dropped out, over.
Yeah, you're Q5, but Richard said he did not hear him either. You might give Dale a call, see if he's in there. Maybe he's just not hearing me. Give him a call, Larry, over.
Oh, he isn't here. We called earlier on 220 at FM, and he didn't show up tonight. Just seeing Richard in there, over.
Okay, very good. Listen, we'll see you tomorrow night about we'll see you on 222, and then, of course, we'll start on 6 meters at about 8:15, pointing toward you like always, sir. Look forward to that. N7WT, KD6BQ, K6MYC.
Yep, 73, N7WT.
73, Larry. Go ahead, Richard, for your final. Anybody else want to say hello to Richard or Larry? Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, how you doing, Richard? Whoops, where'd I go here? I checked in earlier. KD6BQ, KM6SRR.
Yeah, good evening, Rob. KM6SRR, KD6BQ. You're about a 5 and 6 tonight, 56 over.
Roger. I'm getting you about an S2 or so, but good copy there. Thanks for being there. And Larry, I don't know if you can hear me. N7WT, Kilo Mike 6, Sierra Romeo, over.
Yeah, Rob, you're right now you're 5 and 4. You were 5 and 6, but the band's dropping down. So we'll say good evening to you, N7WT.
Okay, Larry. Yep, I'm not even getting anything on the S meter, but good copy. Thanks, Mike. KM6SR, standing by.
Yeah, 7-3. Yeah, the band's dropping out. 7-3 and 7-3.
Roger. Anybody else for the guys in Nevada?
N7WT, WA60IB. Good evening, Larry.
Good evening, Ken. 5 and 9 and 7WT.
Yep, you're about 5 and 7, so good copy. The K86BQ, WA60IB. Well, there you go. He's not copying me now.
Well, maybe he has give him another call. He may have just turned away for a second.
That's okay. I don't want to hold anything up. WA60IB. Thank you, Mike.
He got a phone call. He'll be back here in a minute. N7WT.
Okay. He said he had a phone call. That's what kept him from answering you. You're not holding anything up. We're done here. About the only thing we're going to do is let Rob turn back down south and see if he can raise Eddie. KD6. Oh, for God's sake. KE6BK. I'm going to spin down that way. We'll wait for Richard to come back, but we'll be down that way in a minute, Rob.
Okay, yeah, Larry came up real loud there, so propagation, a little bit of QSB, over.
Yeah, lots of fading.
Okay, well, I'm going to head on in. Thank you, guys. Take care. Have a good week. Lots to do. WA60IB.
Okay, and I think that transverter from Jim, the 1296 transverter, is probably in the plant Monday. I haven't heard specifically that it's there yet, but it should have gotten there Friday or Monday for sure, over.
Righto, yeah, I'm going to be checking probably Tuesday. Monday's already booked up, but Tuesday's still pretty free. WA60IB.
Yeah, very good. Okay, no worries.
Hey, Ken, you got a minute? I have a question.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Hey, on your extra class, are you using Gordon West's book, or do you have to get the ARL book, over?
No, I don't use the Gordon West book. I use the ARL book.
Okay, do I need to have one, over?
Well, if you're going to take the class and going to be doing any studying, that's what we're going to be studying out of. So it probably would behoove you. I'm sending out an email to everybody. I just hadn't got it done. I've got it done, but I haven't. I got to get the pictures attached and whatnot, and I'm sending out information.
Okay, yeah. Well, I bought the Gordon West book, and I wouldn't mind buying the RL book, except for it's going to be over in June. So if I don't make it this time, then I've wasted my money, over.
Well, you're going to make it.
And why is the Gordon West book any different?
Well, that's just one that I'd already bought, and I was doing some self-studying for the test, over.
I'm sure that'll work.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, you can study it if you like. I won't be using it. I use the ARL books because I'm an ARL certified instructor, and if you use materials from other areas other than the ARL, you are no longer an instructor.
Roger, is it a lot different then? I won't be able to kind of fill in with it, over?
Well, the question pool obviously is the same, but the book's laid out totally different, yes.
Okay, well, I guess I got to go buy another one of those, over.
Well, you don't have to. just follow along in the question pool, and you can do that too.
WA6OIB, KD6BQ.
There he is, KD6BQ, WA6OIB. About an S4 now. You were stronger earlier.
Yeah, sorry about the phone call at the wrong time, but yeah, you're running about S8 here. You've got a great signal. You're stronger than Mike was last heard.
Yeah, it just faded back up again. Now you're in S7, so, finicky band.
Yeah, but that's pretty good for a finicky band anyway.
It sure does. That's why it's so much fun. Well, good to hear you. Take care and have a great week, WA6OIB.
Thanks, Ken. Same to you. And we'll say 73 there, WA6OIB, 86BQ in Washoe Valley, Nevada.
Bye.
And we heard your CW, but you were covered by the two local boomers here. Between Ken and Rob, they're all within 10 miles of me here, so they do crush you. But your CW was very strong, but I couldn't copy through it. I heard it, though. So you can tell I can hear through big, strong signals, even though that what copy was poor. 7-3, Richard. We'll see you tomorrow at about 8:15 or so. KD6BQ, K6MYC. Bye for now.
Good night, Ken. K6USY.
Dit.
Nit, and good night, Aaron.
Good night, Aaron.
Yeah, good night. Let's see, the exciting thing that happened today, I talked to Rome on 15 meters with 100 watts on a wire.
Well, that's good. Yeah, you can do that when we got these sunspots like it is. You were a ham on the last cycle, so you know how that can happen. It's amazing what you can work with almost nothing for power.
Yeah, it's just a heck of a lot easier finding people on the bands now with the spectrum scopes.
You mean oh, well, I guess so, yeah. With a wire, you wouldn't have a... My spectrum scope when the band is open has just got so many spikes, I I don't have any trouble finding them.
Yeah, no, it's just nice being able to see the whole band on one screen. I can go, oh, there's a signal, and click on it, and then I hear a guy in Rome, Italy, working stations and specifically calling for the West Coast, and I just jumped right in there.
Well, obviously he was a Moxie operator because he must have known he had propagation to the West Coast. A lot of them get lulled into working East Coast, and then when they do get to West Coast, they're a little slow on the uptake sometimes, but a lot of guys are pretty sharp, and as soon as they work one station on the West Coast with any signal strength, then they concentrate on us out here. Over.
Oh, yeah, no, I definitely appreciate it when they tell the East Coast guys to shut up.
There you go.
Good night, Aaron. K6USY, KM6SR.
Very good. Yeah, good night, Rob. Good night, Mike. And we will catch you guys tomorrow night on 6 meters, and I'll be probably in the background for the 220 net. K6USY.
Roger. Go ahead and call Eddie.
KE6BK. Eddie, you're on tonight for the 2-meter Bozo Net. KE6BK. KM6SR with K6MYC. Standing by. I think I heard a little something in there. Eddie, you're on tonight? KE6BK, KM6SIR.
I'm down that way. We ought to hear him if he's there. KE6BK, K6MYC. How about N6SWR? Are you down there, Ben? About KB6RQU, as long as we're in this direction. Okay, I guess we missed him. I got 38, 39 check-ins. Not too bad tonight, Rob.
Yeah, let me count. Yeah, I got 36. How many did you get?
Well, think I have 38 here with me, but I might have missed a line or something somewhere in there, so it could be 36.
Okay, yeah, I think I got them all written down as you were talking there. You did say somebody already heard Bill in there tonight, KO6KD, right?
Yeah, he was in, but he called and he's got stomach flu or stomach ache and a backache, so he doesn't get in here. And he didn't. He was on earlier for them guys up here, but on 2 meters. But he's not going to get on for 40 in the morning. He said.
Okay, well that's good. He's a good check-in. I got him. Over.
Good enough. I did put Kent in also, KA6OSX. Did you get him?
No, I didn't get him. I heard you talking to Dave. I actually heard a little bit from Dave, but not very good, barely above the noise. He probably wouldn't hear me at all. Over.
Yeah, I did not check Dennis in because Dennis wasn't there, but he should have been, but he wasn't. And Kent, Dave N1PPP said Kent had been in there earlier, so I checked him in.
Roger, I'll put him on there. So that gives me one more.
And then I think we're right. Alrighty, I'm out of here. I'm going to go in the house and relax. I was watching the tape or the video recording of Tucker Carlson's interview with this guy Mike Benz. Boy, is he a sharp cat. It's Democracy Upside Down is what the name of the program is on Tucker's website. Democracy Upside Down, and it is, and how it's being controlled. You thought we were being controlled? You have no idea. And it's been going on a long time. Of course, we knew it was going on a long time, but we didn't know it until recently that it had been going on way back into the 40s and by the CIA and other things. Anyway, this guy lays out a pretty interesting history. It's rapid fire. You probably could be able to watch the thing 3 times and you'd still wouldn't catch up with him. He just is rapid fire going on with the whole history of how the CIA and all world agencies and the NATO and everybody's been intermingled, and then he gets into the Donbass and the Ukrainian thing, and oh my God, it's just unbelievable. And then where I was stopped for the net here, he just starts to get into where they manipulated finally our last election, starting 2016, I should say, where they really got in and manipulated our election. Up till this time, they hadn't fussed with. Well, they'd fussed with it a little bit, but they hadn't done anything major, and they didn't have the skills. By the 2016 election, they really had their stuff together, and they knew how to manipulate the numbers and diddle around with the machines and stuff the ballot boxes and duplicate ballots and all the rest of it, and that's why the numbers ended up where they did. Anyway, it's a good one. I don't know if you have time to go look up Tucker's website and get it. I could forward it to you, or I can have Billy forward it to you if you want to watch it. It's worth watching, but it's really heavy in sense of tons of information just pouring at you for an hour.
Okay, well, that sounds interesting. Yeah, isn't that the one where who's the guy that did my pillow or whatever, and he got in trouble for still insisting that some computer organization had messed around with it there, over?
Yeah, that's Mike Lindell. No, this guy's name is Mike Benz, and he's probably the world's leading expert on this whole internet and all that stuff, manipulation. All this stuff revolves around the internet and the websites that are Facebook and Google and all the rest of it, and Twitter and all the rest of them. And I'm sure that, for God's sake, I forgot the guy's name, the Tesla guy. He's aware of all this, I'm sure, and he's trying to fix it. But it's a nightmare of of intertanglement with the CIA and our government agencies and the military and all sorts of stuff. And this guy lays it out. I mean, there's no question in your mind when you get done hearing him. He knows exactly what's happening, and he's telling you exactly what's been going on and how he nails it with good facts and good things that you can tie things to timing-wise and so on. So it's very well documented. Very good. Anyway, what I may do is I may try to get Matt to send an email back to Billy, and or I could probably have mine forwarded. I can probably get Matt to forward the email to you. Over.
Okay, that sounds interesting. The Tesla guy, you talking about Elon Musk? Over.
Yeah, Elon Musk. He owns Twitter, or it's now called X, but he's aware of all this manipulation. And of course, the government, CIA was working hand in hand with all of those agencies from 2014 on. Over.
So the CIA was working with some of the Facebooks and all that to put down any contrary talk and kind of slant things. Over.
Yeah, how'd you guess?
Yeah, that really has me kind of upset. What's going on for this election, I wonder?
Well, it's just coming to that part of the speech. I'm about 25 minutes into it, and it's about 52 inches long, so I've got about another 35 minutes to listen to, and that it gets closer and closer to home as you get more and more into it. He's just now getting into where he's talking about how the last election of the 2020 election was manipulated. They tried to do it in 2016. They just didn't have all the ducks in a row, and Trump still won. But they figured out how to beat him. And it may be if we can't control this, or if it isn't controlled better somehow, that we'll never have another good election. Billy's pretty convinced we'll never have another fair election based on this whole thing. Over.
Well, I think there's a lot of people that aren't very happy with that, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe some kind of revolt's going on over the whole thing, because that's our American way, is to have good elections. And remember the video showing when the monitoring people from the Republicans left, the cameras caught a bunch of people coming in with briefcases of ballots and stuff that they stuffed the boxes with. Over.
Oh yeah, there's hundreds of pieces of evidence like that in spades, and I'm sure this guy goes over it. I don't think he goes into the video part of it, but he goes into the explanations. Over.
Yeah, well, you can't dispute a video at all, so yeah, that's sad. Thank goodness that I don't have that much longer to live.
Well, I wouldn't let it get you down. You just have to be aware of it.
Yeah, but what's it going to do except for frustrate me, because it's not right and I don't like it. Over.
Well, you sound just exactly like Matt. Somehow I can take it in. I don't like it. It frustrates me, but I want to still know about it in every respect. I want to know about it in case something does come up that I can do something about that's unusual.
Oh yeah, I'd like to know. I like to be educated on it, but yeah, it does frustrate me because there's not much you can do. Over.
Well, that's Matt's life. But I tend not to get frustrated by it. It doesn't even keep me awake at night. I have a very short memory. I can shut it off most of the time. I very seldom live with it for very long. I take it in, I mush it around and let it rumble around in there, and it's always in there rumbling. I can draw it back up if I need it, but it doesn't occupy my brain on a continuum. All I have to do is see one of my kitties, and I forget all about it. Over.
KE6BK.
Hey, there he is. Hi, Eddie. KE6BK, number 40.
Hey, good evening, guys. Hope everything's all right up your way.
Yeah, doing fine, Eddie. Good to hear you in there. We called for you a minute, but we were just kind of shooting the bull here, and you came in. Great.
Yeah, I was having radio troubles. I couldn't make it work.
Well, you found it because you're working now. Over.
Yep, it's working now a little bit there. Anyhow, we'll catch you guys later on. Have a good one. KE6BK.
Okay, Eddie. Thanks for being there. KE6BK, KM6SR, 73.
Yeah, good evening, Eddie. I'm sure you enjoyed the nice warm day, 73. Okay, anyway, Rob, 73, I'll see about getting this thing full. Give me your email address, Rob.
It's Egan, E-G-A-N, at NetPTC, stands for Net Ponderosa Telephone Company, .net.
Yeah, I used to have that one, okay. Egan at netptc.net.
QSL, thanks.
Alrighty. Next month, it probably won't get to you till the morning. Matt's probably going to bed by this time.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I don't know how much time I'm going to have to look at it right away anyway. So I'm been busy trying to get things in order for this darn homeowners issue I've got. Over.
I forgot what it was. What was it?
Well, they sent me a letter wanting all kinds of stuff, and some things are impossible to do, or it's totally changing how things have to be around here. So I'm going to do the best I can and send them back the stuff, and we'll see if they decide to give me a non-renewal for my homeowner's insurance. Over.
Oh, okay. Well, this is your fire insurance, so you're going to get a huge upshift in money, aren't you?
Well, that's if they decide to insure me, I guess. And I suppose it depends what it is. If they decide not to insure me, then it's going to go over to that California something or other, whatever they call it. And if that's like $18,000 or more, like you said you had, we're going to just self-insure. Over.
Yep. Okay. Better count on that one. If this company that have they canceled you officially, or what did they do to you? Just tell you that they are thinking about canceling, or what's the word on that?
They sent me a couple-page letter asking for all these special things that have to be done. And they also, the very last thing that they asked on the questionnaire was if I complied with this, some kind of a different organization now that comes out and checks your house for fire-safe situations. And it costs $125 the first year, and then $100 the following 2 years, and then you got to go back and do the $125 again. I think that's a bunch of garbage. That should be handled by the insurance company. That's their business. Over.
Yeah. What are they asking you to do to your property to get you up to a point where they would think about insuring you? What are you trying to get you to do? Put sprinklers in the house and stuff?
No, not doing that, but they want 5 foot around the house with nothing in that 5 foot, not even plants, and we have some plants. We have a couple of nice oak trees that are close. I took one of them, trimmed them back a little bit and stuff, so I think where they're not understanding is we're in the 10 fire zone, which is the most severe you can have because we're north of the Franklin Canal, but we're a grassy area. We're not a heavily forested area where these things might have something to do with it. And then they want me to take a picture of the front of my house that shows my house numbers. Then they want me to take a picture of the house looking out. And then they want a picture of the back of the house and looking out the back. And they're looking for things that they don't want to see there. They ask about abandoned appliances. They ask about trash piles, a lot of different things like that. Over.
Okay. You might have been better off just getting a one-page letter just saying you're canceled. Goodbye.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm going to do on the thing. I go to great lengths to keep the grass and stuff down around here, and also get rid of all the dead buckbrush and things like that. So I'm good out to probably 60, 80 feet, and I keep going a little bit more each year on different stuff. So there's no way my house is going to catch fire, and I'm going to be one of those people that stays here and with my water hose and puts out embers if they happen to get close. But you know, the fire's not going to get that close. There's nothing to burn. I take it down to the dirt all the way out. Over.
Yeah, I understand. I'm not. I wouldn't comply, but I can take the bushes down. But I got bushes all around the house. I mean, every inch of my perimeter of the house has got a tree or a bush or a plant or something near it, so that would be just hopeless.
Yeah, that's the way I feel too. I have some plants and stuff around the house, but not a whole bunch. But we were planning on doing some landscaping around here too. So I don't know. It's terrible what things are coming to. This is something that the state did, putting some leaning onto the fire insurance companies, and they want to get out of this market because California does not take care of their forests, so they allow these catastrophic fires to go. And they came out with this thing April of 22, I think, and they said you cannot cancel anybody for a year. And so April of 23 last year, well, we'd already had our insurance renewed, so this is our first time after this thing's been put in place. Over.
Yeah, I must have just skid underneath that because they didn't even mention any of that with me. I just paid off the house, and they didn't even know I had paid off the house. I paid it off officially on January 3rd or something of that year, and then 2 days later in the mail I got a notice of insurance cancellation. I mean, if nothing else, everything had to pass in the mail. I mean, so they couldn't have known that I was going to pay the house off. They could not have known. Anyway, enough of that, but yeah, strange. Well, I'm like you, though. I'm not going to worry about the plants that I have around the house. They're not going to burn, and I've got a bigger perimeter around the trees, around the house. The stuff that's next to the house isn't going to burn. If it did, it wouldn't mean anything. It's meaningless. It's not going to catch the house on fire. And it would be easy to put it out anyway if it did. But I've even got a tree underneath the roof of the house, if you noticed, on the front porch. Over.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know what their deal is. They want to know if you've got fire safe walls down to the ground, and they want to make sure your eaves are boxed in. They want to make sure you got some kind of a certain certified roofing on there, which I think we do with asphalt shingles, and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, we're sitting okay. We've got more than enough money in the bank to pay the house off. So I'm just going to see what they're going to do. If they are going to send me a cancellation, then we'll pay the house off, and I'll give them the middle finger salute. Over.
There you go. All righty. Well, good luck with that. It sounds like it's a dead end street that they're putting you through there. I wouldn't worry about it too much. With today's economics and all, it might be a good idea to just pay the house off. I've got bank collapse pending bank collapses and all kinds of stuff here. Pay the damn thing off, get the title in your hands, and be done with it. And then nothing can happen. The only thing I haven't got to do yet is get liability insurance. So if I have people here and they hurt themselves, I'm insured. I haven't done that yet, and that's my fault. I don't think of it at the right time of the day. But I've got to do that. I don't think that'll be a obtrusive cost. Over.
Yeah, that's something I got to look into also. Yeah, they were they're asking questions about things that could be dangerous, and we don't have anybody hardly ever come here. I keep the gate locked because of the people wandering on in like they own the place. So there isn't much chance of that kind of problem. But yeah, I need to figure that out. I've been talking to my agent, and he's actually going to quit farmers because they want them to sell entire packages, and if they don't, they cut their pay, what they're compensating them in half. They want them to sell life insurance, car insurance, and homeowners. And so I've been talking with him a little bit. There is nothing you can get that covers you for theft of your house, I guess. The only you can get is just liability. So I was wondering about something if something breaks in the house, or like I did, had at my dad's house. Farmers, came out and paid for the damage caused by it. They didn't pay for what what leaked to the sewer line, but they paid for the damage stuff. So it'd be nice to have that. But you know what? I guess that's it. We'll just be self-insured. KM6SRR.
Yeah, just take care of it yourself and be done with it. You're probably going to be money ahead. Do you you don't have to tell me, but do you give me a ballpark on how much you owe on the property to pay it off?
428 or something, and I think I've got like 490 or something in the bank in a couple accounts. The thing is, it's in the same bank that I have the loan, so I always figured if the banking went south, I could just say, hey, you got my money, here you go. Now get rid of my loan. Over.
Yeah, well, it's better to do it officially and get the title in your hand and stuff. Here in Madera County, and I worked with them. They're really easy to work with. They'll charge you $13 for a couple of copies of the title or something. Over.
Yep, I got to get payoff and then go through the payout deal. So I'm going to be insured until June. So if they give me a non-renewal, then that's when it'll be over. So I'm thinking if I give myself a month, then I'd be able to get the house paid off and get the stuff in my hands. There, over.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, well, good luck with it. Sorry you have to go through all that crap. I have a different advantage from a fire standpoint that you have, and this is my saving grace in my mind. I'm 1 minute from the lake by helicopter, and the fire people here in this area have a helicopter with a 500-gallon bucket, and they just fly down to the lake and pick up 500 gallons, and they come over the top of your house or your property, whatever's burning, and they just douche it. I'm only a minute from getting that done. I mean, it would probably take 10 minutes for them to get the thing, but I'm sure if there's a fire, it's not going to just start on my property. So I would assume that. And we see them out there, Rob, Frank and I, as we're working on the hillsides, that we watched them last year practicing runs up through the canyon, up through up through Fine Gold Creek Canyon with the helicopter and the bucket hanging there and all that stuff. So we know that we're very close, and they know how to get to us, and they can see us from their line of sight from their helicopter window. Over.
Yeah, roger on that. No, we're in a similar situation. We've got a pond that's fairly big on one of the 40 acres that was part of this 10 parcel subdivision. So they drafted from that. A couple years ago, we had a grass fire that got pretty close. It got to the edge of this 10 parcel subdivision there. And I went on top of my deck on top of the house, the widow's walk, and I could actually see this big old plane. I'm amazed it was still in the air. It was just kind of floating on by. It was tilted, circling back around to drop down their fire retardant stuff. I could actually see the face of the pilots. They were so close. So we're setting pretty good, I think. Over.
Yeah, roger. Same here. They haven't dropped any fire retardant here. We're so close to the lake, they just do it with water. I've seen one fire that was here, and in the practice, they wouldn't be practicing with a fire bucket if they weren't, a water bucket if they weren't going to use the water. I've never seen anything dropped on the hillsides here. I've seen it in other areas, the red stuff, but nothing in my area here. Rob, I'm going in 7-3. We'll see you tomorrow on 6 meters and 222. KM6SRR, K6MYC.
Okay, Mike. I've also got a 250. 2,500 gallon tank that they can draw from when they get here. And when CDF came out, they were very happy with how I was keeping things cleared out. I told them, I said, look, I want to make it as hospitable as I can for you. I've got a big area that they can pull into where they've got 60 feet of cleared area around where they're going to be located to fight the house fire. So I don't think that's an issue. Anyway, I've got the 222 stuff, but no place to put the antenna up, so I'll be on 6 meters. And when it comes to Tuesday nights on Ken's class, I'm going to be AWOL for the 1296 net. So I got to figure out if I can get somebody to take numbers or whether I got to listen to the live stream. Over.
Yeah, well, luckily it's not a big net. It'll be typically 20, 21 people max, so it won't be hard.
Roger. Yeah, I got to see if I can get somebody to keep track of the numbers. I don't remember what time we'll get back from Ken's class, so that means I got to go to work the next day too. So I don't want to be up for a few hours afterwards putting it all together. Over.
Yeah, well, maybe Aaron could write the numbers down for you, if nothing else.
Yeah, I've talked to him about that, but he's got the kids to put to bed and this and that, so he's not always totally there monitoring every minute. Over.
Yeah, I know, but at the end we can go over it quickly and just go down through it verbally. I pretty much know everybody by heart that checks in. Once in a while I miss one person, but wouldn't be the end of the world. Over.
Okay, well, maybe we can try something like that. I'll let you go, Mike. K6MYC, KM6SR, 73.
Yep, good night, Rob. KM6SRR, K6MYC, Delta Mike 07. We'll be clear and listening.
Yeah, I like the end of the net idea, K6USY.
Okay, so maybe we can work that out for a couple of weeks while he's taking these classes, Aaron.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm not always around, as Rod said, well, a lot of times I'll put my headphones in and go off into the other room, but yeah, that, as you said, Mike, that net's usually pretty short. We can just compare notes at the end of the net.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay, I'm flexible. Sounds like you are too. Thanks for that, Aaron. Good evening to you, K6MYC, Delta Mike 07. We'll be clear. I'm beaming south. That's why I'm mentioning the grid square in case there's anybody in the Los Angeles area that wants to venture out and work north. I'm here.
Good try, Mike. Hey, I called you Friday night to tell you about the 1296 net. I was talking to Joe there, but I didn't get an answer from your phone. Over.
Do you call on the cell?
Yeah, QSL.
And what was I doing? I missed one call. Sometimes I can't get the cell out of my pouch quick enough. I'm sitting in a chair or whatever, and by the time I get it out, whoever calls has hung up. And then sometimes I answer, and it's too late. Or I'm in a dead spot in the house, and it doesn't hear me answer.
Okay, you mean you got to wake up from your nap before you can answer the phone, haha.
Well, I didn't want to say that, but yeah, that's the real honest answer. No, call me when that happens. Just call me on the other line, because it rings loud, as you know. You've been here when it rings. Just call me on the 822-6202 line when you can't get me on the other one. You know I'm here. It's just that I'm either sitting on the phone or I didn't hear it for some unknown reason. Over.
Okay, yeah, I thought you had some interest in that, so I was just trying to let you know that they were on. Both Mike and Bill were on, so we all talked to them. Over.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. I think on Friday night, I don't think I got on that early. You must have worked between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. I think I was over on 40 meters. But usually the cell phone interrupts my Bluetooth that comes out of the radio. So the cell phone shuts off the radio when it rings, and it tells me that you're on the line or somebody else or a mobile caller's calling or some verbiage. The point is, it rings right in my ears, so I mean I can't miss it. It doesn't ring, it just talks to me. Over.
Okay, yeah, it went right to voicemail, so I didn't bother leaving a message there. Over.
Well, if it went right to voicemail without ringing 8 or 10 times, then there's something wrong. Maybe it was a glitch in the system.
No, it rang for a while, and then it went to voicemail, so it all sounded normal to me. Over.
Okay, somehow I just didn't hear it. I don't know how I could have missed it. Anyway, call me on the other line when that happens. Don't hesitate to use 822-6202.
Okay, yeah, I got that one too. Yeah, I didn't think about it. Okay, Mike, sounds good. K6MYC, KM6SR.
Thanks, Rob, 73. Do you hear the deluge of people? There's so many in there, I can't sort them out from L.A. Do you hear that?
Yeah, boy, it's overloading my thing here. Over.
73.
73, Mike.
Alrighty, good night, guys. K6USY, Delta Mike 06, and good night to all the people listening on YouTube. We'll be taking the stream down here in a minute.
Good night, Aaron.
Good night, Aaron. K6USY, KM6SR, 73.
Good night, guys. K6USY, let's see, disconnecting from